Hi friends, so welcome back. This is part 2 of embellishing our mini album. I will link the original video plus the first part of the decorating in the description box below for you to check out if you wanted to follow along with me. Many of you had asked for this video and it took a little bit because of editing, but here it is, so I hope that you enjoy the process. I wanted to say thank you so much to those of you that have purchased my digital kits, some of the mini ones that I created for this particular album, as well as the other ones in my shop. I am really loving making these additional pieces that go with, a lot of the projects that I'm sharing on my channel and on my blog. And I really truly appreciate your support. It makes me so happy. I really make these projects because I get inspired, and I am loving that you get inspired as well by what I'm sharing with you. So thank you all so much for that, and I hope you enjoy this process video. So in this video we are going to add the flip pockets, so 2 flip pockets to some of the sections, plus I'll also show you how I made that tiny little pocket that had that sort of window see-through part of it in my last little mini albums. So those are super fun and easy to do, and I am sure you have stuff at home to make those as well. So that's what we'll be working on. Right now I'm working on that first flip pocket, and as you've seen, I just grabbed a piece of, leftover scrapbook paper that I made into a little pocket that will be added to this side of the album. So as I had mentioned before, I'm always working on a few projects. Sometimes I get to finish one right away. Most of the time, a project I'm working on gets put aside and then I go back to it. So after this project is finished, I will be working on my next ideas junk journal. I think I'm going to need to make another one. I do have 2 that are full already, and I'll also be filling up some of the pages. Plus, I do have to show you how to make some of the embellishments that were in 2 of the pages of my last one, the video that I shared, the ones with the doily projects that you mentioned you wanted. So I'll be working on those as well. Let me know if you actually want to see the process of me making that ideas journal. I haven't quite decided what style of journal I'm going to be making or what it's going to look like yet. But if you want to see the process, let me know and leave a comment below. And this way I can start kind of planning ahead to record that video. So I thought I should talk about something I recently noticed. I've seen a few creators talk about taking a break from making videos, or at least maybe making less videos. And everyone has the reasons for doing it. I think a lot of them are feeling burnt out, but I think the one thing that most of them have said is that they're seeing that the views for their videos are down, the comments for the videos are down, and so making free content for everyone and then not having, enough people interacting or watching is, kind of getting difficult. And so I've noticed that with my channel, it's a little bit weird because when I checked, the analytics, it shows that not many of my viewers are around most of the days anymore. And so I'm thinking that it's happening to a lot of us because of course they're mentioning it, but also I'm trying to figure out what is happening. And so it makes so much sense to me for a lot of the creators to start taking more breaks and more time away from making videos because it is so time consuming. And I think it really also depends on the person and how much content they share and how, how creative their content is. I think I've mentioned a few videos back that I noticed a lot of repetitive creations, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I think maybe people have seen a lot of the work that's already been shared out there, and there's just not a lot of new content. I'm not really sure, but like I said, it makes so much sense to me to take those breaks, because as a crafter, as a creator, as an artist, you don't want to burn yourself out simply to make content. And I hope that makes sense. So I know for me, I have started making less videos myself because I found that I was just I was kind of at that that sweet spot where I was enjoying it, but it was starting to feel like work, and you don't want that. I think as an artist, you don't want it to feel like forced creating. I hope that makes sense. And so, when I craft, when I share videos, I am really excited about that project, and I'm really trying to share that with all of you. So I think, seeing that a lot of the creators are also going to different platforms, I know that a lot of them are going to the platform where it's like paid content. So, you pay for a subscription for a month, or you could subscribe for the year, whatever. And then that's when you see their work. And that makes so much sense to me because at least, you feel like you're actually making a little bit of an income with the creations that you're sharing. So I'm not really sure how that's going to work out for everyone in the long run, but I think because of all the changes YouTube has been making as well, and there's even an additional change with people that are getting compensation for some of the videos, that there's a whole new level of changes. And so it's difficult to keep the content going when you don't have a lot of feedback or interaction from it. So I 100% understand, what they're feeling. And so it's just one of those things that I guess, when you're ready to make that decision, when I'm ready to make that decision, I guess I'll go for that. But at this point, I'm hoping that I can still keep sharing my content with all of you, and that I'll still be able to not charge you to see what I create. It does help that I do have, a digital shop, and I do have a shop where I sell some of my kits. And even though I have not made a journal in a long time, I'm still selling journals. I'm still helping other artists sell their work through my shop in the consignment shop. So that's been helpful to me. And it's just wonderful, your support when you purchase my printables, my digitals. It really does help me to keep giving you the content that I share on my channel. But I do understand, if views are down for people, if you're not getting as many people watching your videos or interacting with your videos, I can totally see why choosing to go somewhere else is probably a good idea. I did mention before that I have started my blog again, and that was primarily to have a little bit more control over my content because of the way algorithms work. And if you're not familiar with that, it's just the way that, computer robots decide who watches whose videos and when. And this is the same for, many platforms, even Instagram. you know, I could be sharing things on Instagram, but not everyone that follows me will see it unless they have been interacting with my content before. So it's the same with my videos. If you are not interacting, if you're not leaving a comment, if you're not liking my videos, then eventually YouTube stops showing them to you, and then you no longer see them. So it's more like they make that decision for you instead of you deciding, you know, what you want to continue to see. And so that makes it difficult for us when we create this content for you, because if we're basically being blocked from some of you seeing us, it's so hard to feel motivated to continue to do it because we're not getting as many, as many people as we were getting before. So I hope this makes sense. And I wanted to say that I'm, in support of everyone that has mentioned this. And of course, I'm feeling it myself where I'm creating content. For example, this video, so many of you wanted to see the decorating part of this mini album. And so I went ahead and made this video for you, but I'm not even sure, how many people actually know that I've made the video. That's sort of what I'm trying to say. So having said that, the best way that you can support your creators, the people that you enjoy watching, like myself, as we always say in the videos, and it might seem like a redundant reminder, but it really is a helpful reminder, especially if you've chosen not to subscribe and for whatever those reasons, and you just sort of, watch a video here and there. It's great to still interact, to leave a thumbs up, to leave a comment. It doesn't have to be, this long drawn out comment. But even for myself, I'll say something like, thank you for sharing. I enjoyed the video, or I really enjoyed, the inspiration, thank you for, making this, etc. So it doesn't have to be, a very long comment if you don't want to do that. But of course, it does make us feel better when we know you've enjoyed it, when we know that it's inspired you. It's helpful. I mean, that is the only way we know you've seen it. Otherwise, we have no idea, who sees it and or what you think unless you leave feedback. So I am going to suggest that when you support your fellow YouTube creators, that you try and, interact. Even if it's just a quick little note, just leave that in their videos. Trust me, it will be so helpful to them. And it will also help you watching videos not have limited amounts of people to see. So again, I think I've said this before. Sometimes you look into your what do they call that again? Recommended videos. And it's the same people over and over again, and you don't have a variety. And that might have a lot to do with the fact that you may not be interacting with someone else's videos when you see them. So that's just something to keep in mind, for yourself. So anyways, I just wanted to mention that and to bring that up because I think it's important to let your fellow YouTube makers know that you support them. And, it's so easy. You don't have to do anything but, leave a comment and leave a like, and that is just appreciated by everyone. All right, getting back to this decorating video, if you've stayed with me this long, I'm about to make that little see-through pocket that I made in the last two albums. And I'm going to show you, I'm using a junk mail envelope, which is one of my favorite things to repurpose. This one was for a credit card company, and the entire envelope on the inside has their logo. And so that when I'm creating with that is a bit difficult sometimes because you'd have to, kind of collage the inside as well if I were using the actual envelope itself. But to make this little see-through pocket, it's so easy. As you see here, you just cut out the front envelope with a bit of a frame around it. And then I just fold that in half and then glue the paper parts onto themselves. And then this way it makes the cutest little see-through pocket. You don't have to go out and buy, vinyl or whatever it is, the see-through stuff, not vinyl, you know what it is. So anyways, you can see how cute that it's going to look. It's a tiny little pocket for a tiny little album. And I just thought it was such a really fun and easy idea to make. So I hope that you're enjoying this video so far. And if you do, remember to like, subscribe. That notification bell, also I forgot to mention, is very important because that's when YouTube lets you know when we have a new video for you to see. If you don't click on that notification bell, even if you are subscribed, sometimes YouTube will not show you the latest video. I had someone a little while back say, oh my gosh, I just found you again. I hadn't seen your videos and realized you've been making so many and I've missed them. So it was one of those things that I thought, oh my gosh, like I had no idea that was happening. But then of course you investigate and you realize that all these little things are involved in the background that you are not aware of when it comes to, you having access to what we create for you. So a little support that way for all of us is, very appreciated. And those of you that do comment on my videos often, those of you that, I'm so familiar with, and I'll mention some off the top of my head because I've seen your names often: Lynette, Sandy, Evan, Jackie, Kim, Brenda. Those, you are just, I appreciate your comments so much. I look forward to your feedback. I feel like it's my little family letting me know they've seen my video and what they think of it. So I truly appreciate that. The one way that you interact with me is by leaving a comment. And, I feel like this is how I can connect with you, because otherwise it's a one-sided conversation. It's just me, speaking, and, whoever is listening, I don't know until I see that comment, until you interact with me. So I do truly appreciate that. I did mention that it's one of those things that's so important to us. So getting back to the little mini album, if you have been following this series of the mini album, you've seen that I made these little Polaroid style journaling cards, and I'm going to be using them to just, add additional ephemera to this mini album. But I also decided I would use one for the front cover. And again, this part of the process for me is what usually takes a little long. I don't often have a full idea of what I'm going to do. And so I thought I would leave that in because it is one of those things that for some reason sometimes takes a long time to do. So other times I start with, knowing what my cover is going to be for, a journal or an album or something. But most of the time I save that to the end for some reason, and then it comes together or it doesn't. So what you see in this video is probably going to be what I've decided at this moment in time, but I may add something later. That's nothing that I have to worry about now, but I am trying to complete it as much as I can. When you do add your embellishments to the front of this cover, you'll have to make sure that it's all nice and flat. So you have to open it all up because if it's too bulky, things won't stick to your cover and it'll be all wonky. So what I did here is just I grabbed a piece of this really nice brown paper that I had. It's unbleached paper. And I decided to kind of use it as a frame behind it. And that's just for a little bit of movement and a little bit more texture. I think what I would have liked to have done maybe is just kind of make the little Polaroid a little bit more vintage looking maybe. But I do like how it looks. It looks nice and, springy and fresh. And, with the word friends in the front, I think it'd be nice to send it to a friend, of course. That's the whole purpose of making them. I did also mention that I might start to add some kits to my shop, which is either like a mini album kit that comes with all the pieces you might need to make it, or like a mini journal kit. I haven't quite decided. I am also working on my little boxes of stationery. So like the little stationery bento boxes. I almost have a few finished. I will be showing you that video very soon, maybe on the weekend. Let me know what you think. I'm so excited about it. I have seen so many wonderful crafters create these beautiful stationery bento boxes. Of course, I have my own spin on it, but I'm just loving the idea of creating all these different little elements that can fit into one little package, and it's like this little surprise of goodies. So I hope you are back for that when I do share that video. I hope that you've enjoyed this video so far. And, you know, like I said, I did want to mention what was happening and what I've seen from other creators. And, you know, I wish that, I hope that everything works out for them and that they still feel inspired to create, but not feel stressed about it and overwhelmed, because you know you don't want that as an artist. You want to enjoy the process, and like I said, I so far am. I hope that you support me in this by letting me know that you've seen the video, by letting me know what you think of the videos, and also, you know, letting me know what else you would like to see. We're always open to ideas. You know, maybe you've seen something somewhere else that you know, wasn't very clear, or you wanted a little bit more variety with. So, you know, that's something that we might do, or I might be able to do as well. And yeah, so I think this is it for the, of course, decorating of the mini album. This is the version that I wanted to share with you right now. Someone did mention that even though they're not making the album, they used a lot of the decorating ideas for their own project. And I thought that was just, of course, so fun to share with me. Thank you so much for that. Because that is the point of me sharing with you, to hopefully give you some inspiration in one of your creative projects, and that you join me when I'm sharing mine with you. So thank you for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, like the video if you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Thanks so much for stopping by.